There's a new complaint tonight about hush money paid on behalf of Donald Trump. The complaint was filed by the watchdog group Common Cause to the Federal Election Commission and
Another one.
And it alleges that the reported $150,000 payment made to former Playboy model Google 4 days before the presidential election by the parent company, the National Enquirer, was an in-kind illegal campaign contribution to the Trump campaign. Both the New York Times and the New Yorker reported that McDougal had a consensual affair with Trump in 2006. Today's FEC complaint is nearly identical to the FEC complaint that forced Trump's personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, into admitting, finally, that he indeed had facilitated a payment of $130,000 from his, quote, personal funds to adult film actress Stormy Daniels, who also allegedly had a sexual encounter with Trump also in 2006. Cohen denies he did anything illegal.
Trump's a dog.
Payoffs were both for consensual relationships. But then there's the accusations of non-consensual sexual advances, unwanted sexual touching, groping, and sexual misconduct. Today, President Trump deliberately drew attention to one particular accuser, tweeting, "A woman I don't know and to the best of my knowledge never met is on the front page of the fake news Washington Post saying I kissed her for 2 minutes yet in the lobby of Trump Tower 12 years ago. Never happened. Who would do this in a public space with live security cameras running?" Another false accusation. The story that prompted that outburst.
I'd like to see those camera footage clips. Excuse if you can hear the rain. We're having really bad weather here tonight in Texas.
And he shook my hand, and he kind of gave me the normal double cheek kiss. But then he held onto my hand and he kept kissing me. He kept asking me maybe a question, where are you from, and kissing me again. And then he kissed me on the lips. And I was shocked. Yeah, devastated.
Rachel Crooks has been telling her story since before the election. She says Donald Trump accosted her in the elevator bank at Trump Tower in January 2006. The Washington Post wrote about it in the paper today, which appears to have been the catalyst for the president's angry tweets this morning. To which Crooks responded, quote, "Please, by all means, share the footage from the hallway outside the 24th floor residential elevator bank on the morning of January 11, 2006. Let's clear this up for everyone. It's liars like you in politics that are prompting me to run for office," which, of course, makes her part of a stunning national trend. She is running for office. And she's part of a national trend of women who have been channeling their anger into doing precisely that.
Nice.
Jess McIntosh, former senior advisor, Hillary Clinton campaign executive editor, Share Blue. In some ways, it's the story of women in politics since the election, like in one person.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. I have long said that the Me Too movement is the backlash to the election of Donald Trump. So I think it's important to contextualize Rachel Crooks and what she's doing, because when she started telling her story, there was no Me Too movement. At this point,
she just emailed a reporter.
Yes, she emailed a reporter. At this point, women can be fairly certain if they speak out, there's a support network to catch them. I'm not saying that life is rosy afterwards, but it is not what it was a few months ago when Rachel and the other 18 women came forward. They came forward into an absolutely brutal climate where they were telling their story literally to help each other, to be there for the other 18 of them that were coming forward, and because they wanted the country to know what kind of a man they were on the verge of electing. The bravery that it took to do that is really exceptional, and the bravery to put your name on the ballot is equally exceptional after it. So I think everything that she's doing is just commendable, and the president could not have possibly been any dumber than to try to engage with her today. Like, he went
right.
From that.
It was sort of amazing because think about it. She's running for the state house in Ohio, where she is from, and I would imagine today was probably a pretty good fundraising day for her after the president attacks her. This has been a theme throughout. Again, this sort of channeling of women, particularly sort of dealing with the election of Donald Trump and what it represents in motivation. We've seen it in Democratic campaigns and in grassroots movements. Another result tonight in another state house race, which I feel like we should talk about. A Democrat named Linda Belcher. She just won a special election in Kentucky's House District 49.
Yay, Kentucky!
That Donald Trump carried by 49 points. Right. Sorry. Yes, he carried it by 49 points, 72-23. She won it, and she actually outperformed herself from 2016 by 18 points.
Yeah, that was when she lost. She came back into 7 years in the state legislature after her husband, who held the seat, passed away in a car accident. She came back.
I remember hearing about that.
For Democrats, a stack of massive wins for Democrats. Very quietly across the country, these special legislative elections are flipping seats all over the place, in red states, blue states, all of it.
They're women.
I wonder if you feel this way. There's a direct relationship between the sort of core of anger and frustration from someone like Rachel Crooks and other people who told these stories and nothing happened to the person that did this, and the intensity of the commitment we're seeing in grassroots activists and in voters in these special elections.
I think this is like a straight trajectory from the Women's March. We saw women speak out against Donald Trump and nothing happened. In fact, not only did nothing happen, he became the president of the United States.
And beat the person who had a shot at the job.
And beat a very qualified well, I mean, he took the presidency over a very qualified candidate who also won 3 million more votes. But women were mad about that, and it's not just anger. It's anger that channels into doing something. It's anger that channels into activism. And I think electoral politics actually offers one of the few places where you can offer a solution to these sort of systemic patriarchal issues. Like, if more women are in leadership, we're going to fix a lot of things top to bottom.
Women get shit done.
It has to be about making space for women to tell their stories, not just their stories of victimhood, but their ideas and what they want to do for the future and to help others.
And now everybody knows that Rachel Crooks is running for that state house in Ohio. Jess McIntosh, thank you so much.
The right time.